Welcome to the first Australian Mining Weekly Wrap for 2012. As usual, we'll be giving you all the news about what's happened this week and an insight into the mining industry. Our first story today is the desperate search for 10,000 mining jobs. Andrew?
Yep, this one's over west. Yet another mining jobs story. A pretty perennial issue in the mining industry at the moment. This time not in the state's northwest, but down south in the Goldfields and Esperance region. Some new studies have come out saying that that area needs at least 10,000 workers for 2012 alone, and that's with all the new projects coming up in the resources industry over there. The next biggest story this week was the underground coal mining accident. You've got that one?
The underground gold mine accident. A tragic accident that occurred when 3 were injured at the Agnew underground gold mine just in the Goldfields Esperance region. It occurred when a few sheets of roofing mesh, which were propped against the wall of the underground mine, actually fell onto the miners themselves, injuring them. One suffered chest injuries, another fractured his leg, and one man, a 26-year-old Kiwi, actually fractured his wrist and suffered spinal injuries. So we're all hoping they're okay. The West Australian Department of Mines and Petroleum have already launched an investigation into the incident. In other big news, which you've probably all seen, a phosphate ship actually broke up off Christmas Island. The MV Tycoon, which had been loading phosphate from Christmas Island for the past 3 days, actually pulled from its moorings and came loose during heavy swells. There were worries that the fact that the diesel oil and also the phosphate that was on the ship may have been leaking, as there was already quite a large oil slick around the ship. There are worries that it may actually affect the local bird life and damage the coral reef by blocking it out from the sun. The Greens have also called for an immediate inquiry. In, I guess, slightly lighter news, Andrew?
Yeah, this one's a bit more colourful.
Colourful's the word for it.
Back to the sex workers again. Pretty hot issue at the moment in mining, especially in Queensland. We've had a sex worker who operates in the mining communities up in Queensland hit back at some of the criticisms being made at prostitution in the area. She's said that the negative attitudes to sex work have endangered sex workers. She's particularly criticised hotel and motel owners who have been kicking sex workers out of their rooms, and she's saying that this is forcing prostitutes back out onto the street, and it's really not something that's good for the sex working industry or good for just those people in general. Back to you, Cole.
Yeah, apparently some sex workers have claimed that they're earning up to $250 an hour, and they can charge that because of the miners' high wages.
There you go.
Yeah. In other criticism, Somerset Regional Council Mayor Graham Lemon has actually called for all mining, coal seam, gas and coal mining to be banned in the region. However, his moves were slammed by the Queensland Resources Council, who said that Queensland's 4.6 million residents must be wondering what gives Somerset's Regional Council the privilege to ban coal and coal seam gas development while continuing to bank the benefits from royalties and economic activities. QRC head Michael Roche wasn't holding back when he said this. It's also believed that the Somerset region will probably earn around 1.2 million from mining activities. Lemon stated that instead of mining, the region's future lay in tourism and agriculture.
Back over to Western Australia, we've had Fortescue Metals Group launch some criticism at BHP a little and a little at the town of Port Hedland over BHP's planned 6,000 man fly-in fly-out work camp over there. Fortescue Metals has basically written a submission to the town of Port Hedland, and it's told the council to make sure that it ensures that BHP isn't receiving preferential treatment over that camp. This sort of links back to the first story about jobs. This is a pretty big camp, 6,000 workers, pretty big in terms of the town of Port Hedland as well. It hasn't really been too popular over there with locals and politicians. They've all been criticising it, and there's also a corruption inquiry into how the council has been handling this issue. So it looks on pretty shaky grounds for BHP, that plan. And finally, back in Perth, we've had this news about a Chinese mining company trying to explore parts of the Perth metropolitan region. The miner initially made this application in December, and it's to do with exploring for minerals such as gold and a few other things in the eastern suburbs. It includes Swan River, the airport, quite a few other residential areas as well. Again, not too popular with the locals or the politicians either. The local mines minister, he's told the public in general that this miner has Buckley's chance of gaining approval unless it can prove that it's going to earn the state trillions of dollars. So pretty much no go there for that miner, and since then they've withdrawn that application.
All right. Thanks for that, Andrew. You used to live in Perth, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I lived in Perth for a few years and up in the northwest as well, and there doesn't seem like there'd be much room in those eastern suburbs for that miner to do much exploring, so a bit of a weird one, that one.
Yeah, a bit odd. Well, thanks very much for watching. If you want to hear the latest news from us, you can read it on miningaustralia.com.au, or you can follow us on Twitter or find us on Facebook and just say hi. And thanks again from the Australian Mining team for watching. Cheers.
Thanks.